And good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ocean View High School, Huntington Beach, California, the scene for National League Week 3 action. Day 2 here, full day of water polo, both here and at Golden West College, alongside Olympic champ Cammie Craig. Greg Meskel here with you, and we get set for our first game of the day. It's Stanford taking on Pacific Coast Riptide. And Stanford in the dark caps, Pacific Coast Riptide in the white. Stanford coming off of the convincing victory over UCLA, Cammie, to close out yesterday's action. And as you alluded to, the old quick turnaround. They're back in the pool here this morning.
Yes, Stanford finishing up at 8 p.m. last night and first game here this morning.
Let's see how they react. Riptide a little bit fresher as they get set to begin things here. Don't forget live stats of all matches here and at Golden West College available at thefosh.net, so check that out. And we're underway with Stanford controlling. Cardinal reached the NCAA final last December. Lost to USC, but they staged an epic rally in that game. If anyone remembers that NCAA final, as they work inside to Ben Halleck and he draws an exclusion. They got down big early and then roared back and really made a game that seemed over. Very exciting late before USC hung on for the 2-goal win. Meanwhile, Ben Halleck goes to work in close. The Olympian hammers that one home, and it's a 1-0 lead for Stanford.
No surprise here, we see Stanford right away going to their center play. Some big players for Stanford in the 2-meter position, Halleck being one of them, earning the exclusion and then being able to finish on the post here.
Just kind of bides his time.
Up on his legs and then finish. Legs are so important in that post position to be able to hold that and then finish.
We talked about the early morning. What sort of things are these guys doing to kind of get active, kind of activate those legs to be ready to make a big push like that 20 seconds into the game?
You know, I'm not sure what they're doing in the morning, but I remember in early morning games, I'd always take a shower, get up a little bit earlier than usual, and make sure that you're really moving your body so that it doesn't feel like a slap across the face when you start your game at 8 a.m.
Out of play, deflected, and it'll come back in. Shot clock resets to 20. Playing with those new FINA rules that went into effect earlier this year. Officials in this one, Sergio Macias, Levon Dermengian, as we are underway here in Huntington Beach.
And seeing nothing, sends it to the corner.
A strong press defense from Stanford again, forcing Riptide to dump the ball. This is something we saw consistently from Stanford last night versus UCLA. Just a tight press defense, making it really challenging for their opponent to get any type of shot off.
A little off balance there on the attempt from Rossman. And Edward Zivoslavsky comes up with it for Riptide. Riptide led by coaches Eric Perales, Melissa Fernandez. In their home water here at Ocean View High School. Redirect inside, and it's controlled by Chun. They were trying to set things up for Raphael Kremp on the move towards the cage, but instead Stanford is there.
Puts it in the set.
Another 6-on-5 coming here. The exclusion will go against Riptide and Robert Robertson, and Stanford wasting little time cashing in as Wyatt Hansen buries the shot.
Stanford getting organized, moving into the positions they want to be in. This was the first goal that we saw from Halleck, first 6-on-5 goal of the game.
And the score there is in, and the exclusion actually was on Devin Mefford for that Riptide team as he swam off there. Quick 2-0 lead for Stanford.
Back in action. Stanford with the ball.
Full day here. Live stats at thefosh.net. A lot of action. Will take you up to 4:10 p.m. when Long Beach State will take on UCLA. This is all setting the table for the Fisher Cup. And now here's Stanford setting the table on the counter. A little bobble behind the head. This could still work. Riptide knocks it down. Good defense there getting back. That seemed to be a sure goal coming for Stanford, and Riptide was able to slow that down.
Stanford now forced to play a little 3-on-3.
Not anymore. A little 6-on-5 coming now. McTavish. Here's a brief 3-on-2 developing. Save Sivaslovsky. That's a nice turn away. And good defense there for Riptide, and what seemed like two good chances for Stanford to score. The initial counter and then the power play. But Riptide able to defend.
With the ball, puts it in play after the order.
Here's Chase McCall. Lefty will move in. Shot clock to 6. Goes inside, double team, and a takeaway. Siebold is there.
Riptide is able to create some great opportunities via their movement. It's just being aware of where Stanford's defense is at all times.
And you can tell the way this Stanford team works together. A lot of time together in the pool. Cross cage there, knocked out by Sivaslovsky. He's had a couple of nice stops here early. Sometimes what these college teams lack in experience, they make up for with familiarity. They know each other so well. They train together all the time. It's hard to replicate that at that open masters level of some of these other clubs.
Absolutely. Time and repetition and the opportunity to play together and know each other. You can tell how much time Stanford has played together just for the fact that they're setting up things and organizing their play on things that haven't even quite happened yet or set up yet.
Meanwhile, Riptide runs out of time on the shot clock. Halfway through this first quarter, 2-0 lead for Stanford. LaGrange works to Parker Killian. Good look, middle now. Open territory, but off the bar on the try from Duncan McTavish. Had a clean look. We'll get a sub here as it looks as if McCall, well, he thought he was coming out, but not quite. He's going to stay in a little bit longer. Talked about it yesterday, those hockey subs. The timing's got to be just right, or you might find yourself swimming off to the side for no reason. And now this possession is done, and a dump there from Riptide with the shot clock about to expire.
Stanford with the 2-on-1 advantage.
Look at this. Hansen moving in, one on goalie. A variety of fakes off the post and in. Thought maybe he might have faked one too many times. He was getting pretty close to that goalie, but knew what he was doing. Spencer Hansen buries it.
All of his momentum moving forward. Pretty soon he was just going to be inside the cage.
That's one way to score it.
But this is smart, just to take your time here and fake and really bring the goalie down and get the goalie off balance for an easy finish.
And the goalie gave a look, like, you almost missed that. That was off the post and in. I almost had you.
Graves comes out the press at half. Latino takes the pass. Puts it into Gonzalez.
Good turn inside, and Shun is there to knock it away as they tried to get Samuel Gonzalez involved. You often didn't have the luxury of faking a lot, right? When a pass was coming to you and you could turn and go, it was almost like you had one move to make, to snap to the ball and shoot or turn and go. Was there a lot of opportunity for multiple fakes?
No, I mean, in the center position, there's not. It's got to be a quick move because typically that defense is coming back quickly, and that's something Riptide's facing and will face throughout this entire game with Stanford's defense, is just help defense everywhere. Yeah. As we see Riptide doing a great job with their help defense, which is going to be incredibly important for them with the type of presence that Stanford has in the 2-meter position.
Yeah, people like Ben Halleck. We saw Josh Orrick yesterday. They were both tough covers at 2 meters in Stanford's win over UCLA. Threading this one inside, and that's enough to draw an exclusion as they've started to work for Gonzalez now. Exclusion will go on Spencer Hansen.
Riptide with an opportunity to get a point on the board.
Looking for that first goal here. Under 90 seconds left, first quarter. From the outside, and it's on the money. James Vigent scoring that first goal for Riptide on the power play.
Riptide moving the ball around, taking a look at what's available for them. As they pass the ball back, it seems to be a little bit of miscommunication on defense and who wants to move out. But allowing Riptide the time to move in and take the shot.
And you diagnosed that perfectly, as after that shot went in, you can see two of the Stanford defenders giving the idea, no, you go out, I'll stay here. Riptide has their first, and Stanford still ahead 3-1. Keeper out. Ordinary called as Oric is working in close. Now a little backdoor drive. Lob over the top. Sivaslovsky's there to go up and snag it on the LaGrange attempt. Less than a minute to play, first quarter. Here's Martino. Ahead to Kremp. Looking inside, keeper out, defender there, a race for it. And Sean is able to get there ahead of Dalton Kennefick. We saw Kennefick earlier yesterday. He played strong.
I always appreciate, chasing the goalie down to get a ball, but it ends up leading to opportunities just like this one. Stanford up on the counterattack. Riptide being able to recover, which is outstanding, and away they go.
Yeah, it seemed as if that was going to be destined for a good opportunity, but then given right away. Now Kennefick will try and get a shot off with 2 on the clock, and Chun knocks it out as we come to the end. Riptide trying to draw closer.
That was a center entry pass from the goalie, and it was like the most perfect center entry pass I've ever seen. That was great.
Nicely done by Sivaslovsky. Riptide can't convert, but they do have their first goal. They trail 3-1. We're back with the second. You're watching the National League on USA Water Polo TV.
So, you've got your hard-earned money, but you're not sure where to put it. Well, one of the best things that you can do is put it into a credit union. Credit unions are like banks, only better. They offer higher rates of return, lower fees, and are safe and secure. And because they're not for profit, they're all about putting the people first. With credit unions, you're not just another face in the crowd, you're a member. And credit unions are member-owned and member-operated. Take control of your finances. Visit or contact Sea Air Federal Credit Union to find out all of the great reasons why you should join.
You never know where the next Olympian might be coming from, but it could be water polo, and that starts with Splash Ball. Splash Ball is a program for children ages 5 through 9 designed to introduce them to the sport of water polo while promoting water safety. Improve swimming skills and learn a sport you'll love for a lifetime. For more information, visit splashballusa.org. Second quarter underway, change in goal for Stanford. George Hagestad has come on to replace Andrew Chun.
Ball drops in, Rossman gets there first, and Stanford.
And the Cardinal control to start the second. Back in here, and Josh Oric rips it on the turn.
Got it set for the goal.
4-1 Stanford.
When a team like Stanford has the presence that they have in 2-meter position, to see passes like this, ball movement and moving it around to the side of the center and getting the ball in quickly, it's key for their success and part of their success. I mean, really, it's Riptide, choose your battles, right? Are you going to come back and guard the center, or are you going to press out and guard shooters?
And that was a nice bar down on the attempt by Orrick. Went over the keeper's head and in. And you're right, with this much talent, where do you want to deliver your focus on defense? There's too many options for Stanford. On the other end there, Riptide got in close. Just off the water, couldn't make that count. And now Abramson wheeling inside, and as he reverse spins in close, he'll draw the penalty. That'll go against Robinson. And now a penalty shot coming for Stanford. Abramson buries it. Big lefty rockets that one into the back of the net, and a 5-1 lead for Stanford. In control here early.
It looked like Stanford was trying to organize who was going to take that shot. Great to see an exchange of smiles as he moves back, swims back to the center lineup. Happy about getting that one in the back of the cage. Stanford wasting no time in this possession to go straight to their hard press.
Riptide has had some success in that first quarter, getting the ball inside. They go in here again. Good look. Kennefic sends it off and scored it for Riptide. As Brock Gordon on the dish from Kennefic after he drew a crowd. And Gordon able to get Riptide on the board with their second.
Riptide has done a great job with their movement and creating opportunity. Great kick-out pass here. Buying a lot of time for Riptide to find the back of the cage.
A triple team pretty much on Kennefic, and that left Gordon wide open.
That type of awareness in the center position to know that there's that many crashes around and where that potential open player is.
Turn, it goes right over the keeper.
Exactly. Same entry pass. Nice big move out to the ball. Turn to a finish right over the head. We're missing the bar down.
Yes.
But
if you could just bar down
close.
it again, please. Otherwise. Pretty intense guy in there. He has that look of just, he's ready for the ball.
Oh, yeah.
Wants it, ready to go to work.
It's kind of a mindset that you need going into that position. You're getting ready to just be beat up.
Gordon sends it down the wing. Now into Mefford. That draws an exclusion on 9. Start. Player advantage.
Power play now to Riptide.
Riptide looking almost to attack quickly, but decides to work their way through this one.
Killian excluded for Stanford on the advantage now. Inside, keeper out. Hagestad came out to fight that one.
And locked out.
As sides come even, it looks as if Kennefic took the worst of that on the hand as he tried to redirect that. Hagestad met him, and so he's a little slow to join the defensive end.
Definitely unpleasant look on that face.
And Stanford on the brief advantage here. Can they take advantage? Orrick looking for another perhaps. He has 2 already. And now Kennefic will just head down to the offensive end. Thread inside, good layout, and scored Duncan McTavish.
Duncan McTavish with the goal.
Stanford's been wearing out the snap and turn. Now they go the other direction.
Great patience here by McTavish. You can see he moves the ball to the side, creating a lane for himself so he can just open up and fire it into the back of the cage. Instead of stepping out and trying to shoot through that defender, he makes that space for himself.
And this is a rare treat, and I'm sure you're enjoying it as a center, but at high-level water polo tournaments, you don't often see centers get chances to take free entry passes and just go to work and shoot. There's lots of exclusions and fouls.
Greg, it's funny that you said that because I was just thinking, like, this is fun. This is like like a free-for-all in center. Everyone gets to take a shot at a set today,
Yeah, it just feels like it never happens. It's always it comes in and there's a crash and everyone just drops the hammer.
The opportunities are definitely fewer and far apart as the levels get higher and higher. There's been times where you touch the ball maybe just 3 times for a game, and it's all about drawing defense and moving bodies and just doing some hard work to get the offense rolling.
Sivslovsky had knocked that one out, and then Riptide comes back, forcing the ball under, so good defense there. Cardinal ahead 7-2, approaching the halfway point of the second quarter.
Take it the other way. McCall starts it out.
McCall pushing ahead. Vigent, who has one of the Riptide goals today. Kick out on McTavish.
With Riptide's willingness to move and create and constantly keeping Stanford moving, taking advantage of these 6-on-5 opportunities are going to be incredibly important for them.
Field block. Shot clock back to 20 and then a giveaway. Karyatakis able to rise up and snatch that one as Riptide was trying to restart with the fresh 20 seconds. Up the far side, here comes Spencer Hansen. Defenders giving chase. He'll have help, double team, right in front, redirect. Karyatakis, right place, right time.
A little miscommunication in regards to defense there for Riptide. That's a hard place to keep a player wide open right in the middle of the cage. It's almost like the Red Sea parted here, giving plenty of time to Stanford to finish.
Great biblical reference, Cammie. Stanford adds another. Under 4 to play, second quarter. And if you're a Riptide fan, you're going to say, well, this hasn't been a fun game to watch. But from the idea of free-flowing water polo and not a lot of exclusions and not a lot of things that have slowed down the pace of play, it has been enjoyable. Centers getting to operate, people getting to move in space, catch passes, put away shots.
Absolutely. I think this game it's been great to see just how Riptide's attacking Stanford, and great defensively on both ends.
Orrick forces the ball under. And now the outlet.
Orrick puts the ball on top, Karyatakis, and then around the horn. Killian.
Karyatakis, 1 goal. Back around Killian, they play catch. And sailing it left, Nick Karyatakis on the attempt.
This last possession, we see Riptide kind of shifting back into this soft zone where they're having everyone back, slightly back, but forcing a shot from the outside and enough to put them outside the cage.
National League Week 3 action here in Huntington Beach at Stanford taking on Riptide. Cardinal in front 9-2. This is the end of the National League regular season as Hagestad controls that. We'll crown a National League champion in a couple of weeks in San Diego at the Fisher Cup. You see San Diego, the scene there, the site. We'll have all the action live on USA Water Polo TV here on YouTube and Facebook. On the other end now, Parker Killian. Off the mark.
A few unlucky shots for Stanford here. Great opportunities, just needing to find the back of the cage.
Here's Samuel Gonzalez breaking free. Ahead to Thorsness. Able to hit. Couple of mustachioed men on the counterattack.
Passing the ball over here. A nice fake, get the goalie jumping, and then finishes with a little wrist movement there.
And Riptide will take it. Trying to chip away in this one. Down now 9-3, under 2 to play here in the first half. Live stats available at thefosh.net, THEFOSH.net, of matches here all day and at Golden West College. Also, if you're in the area, free admission to all games here and at Golden West College if you'd like to come out and cheer on one of your favorite college teams, one of your favorite club teams, the future of Team USA. Good snag there. Kremp takes that one away. On the counter, Kremp makes the steal. Now the recipient, he'll draw the penalty. Tracked down from behind by Jackson Siebold. We've talked about these new rules, and if you're inside 6 meters, you're going towards the goal, you're attacked from behind, you're going to see a lot more of the 5-meter penalty calls than you had in the past. We've seen a lot of them this weekend, and the call made right there.
I was thinking about how training or practice your 5-meter shots will, be a lot more important moving forward.
Bar out. Kyle Graham can't connect.
Good placement. It's about inches on those ones, right?
But you're right. You'd think you'd see an uptick in practicing those shots because you'd think you'd see a lot more of them in competition.
That was definitely a priority, but the mindset was different in regards to practicing it. But we've seen so many 5-meter shots, yesterday alone, and here we are off this morning seeing quite a few as well. And it's the nature of the new rules here.
Less than a minute to play, first half. Stanford in control. They've been up since the jump. Again, this pressure from the Cardinal.
He connects over.
Dominic Kirby working here near side. In no man's land with the shot clock to 1. And they'll dump that one aside.
33 on the clock. Stanford in possession. LaGrange.
Cardinal on the move. And you can hear the whole bench yelling out, "You're live, just go with it."
Memphis comes over to press, and they cross the ball.
Karyatakis now on the move. Threads that inside. And as Oric tried to sweep that towards the cage, the offensive is called as he used the off arm there to try and get rid of some of the defense. Final seconds, first half. Shot clock is off, just 8 seconds left. A scrum for the ball. Now down to 2 seconds left. Behind his head, Kremp gets it back. It's a long 2 seconds, and it's knocked away by Hagestad. So first half is in the books, and Stanford in command. 9-3 over Riptide. We will come back with the second half. You're watching 2019 USA Water Polo National League play live from Huntington Beach, California. We're back after this.
Cap 7 is the proud sponsor of USA Water Polo. Cap 7 is the best ball in the world.
So, you've got your hard-earned money, but you're not sure where to put it. Well, one of the best things that you can do is put it into a credit union. Credit unions are like banks, only better. They offer higher rates of return, lower fees, and are safe and secure. And because they're not for profit, they're all about putting the people first. With credit unions, you're not just another face in the crowd, you're a member. And credit unions are member-owned and member-operated. Take control of your finances. Visit or contact Sea Air Federal Credit Union to find out all of the great reasons why you should join.
You never know where the next Olympian might be coming from, but it could be water polo, and that starts with Splash Ball. Splash Ball is a program for children ages 5 through 9 designed to introduce them to the sport of water polo while promoting water safety. Improve swimming skills and learn a sport you'll love for a lifetime. For more information, visit splashballusa.org. Second half underway, Stanford and Riptide. You're watching National League play here from Huntington Beach, California. Cammie Craig and Greg Meskel joining you for a full day of water polo here. In our first game of the day, all Stanford to start. They lead at 9-3. Sun's starting to peek out. Usual overcast morning here near the beach.
Gonzalez takes the pass on top.
Stanford here in the dark caps, and Riptide in the light.
Vision. Call breaks.
Hagestad out of the cage,
Traffic
and an exclusion.
Riptide finding the hand of their 2-meter player.
And it's an exclusion on Hagestad, goalie out. So field players will try and pack that cage.
Great opportunity for Riptide.
Remember, even though defenders are in the cage, they can only use one hand still. From the outside and scoring, Gonzalez as the horn sounds. And we talked about plays where you feel like you should score.
Right.
That's one of them, right? We talked about a 6-on-4 feeling like there's that pressure to think you should score.
Right.
But there's still a goalie there. Here where there's no goalies.
It's just a different look. It's a different look to see the cage being packed with other than just a goalie, right? We have 3 players back with everyone has arms up, right? And it just feels it feels different. You don't practice that at practice a lot, right? And we know that there's potential for something like that to happen, but it just feels different. And the flow of your 6-on-5 is just off. And so you just have to be creative in how you want to attack that and try to get that ball in the back of the cage.
Off the post from the outside, and the rebound, nothing there for the card.
Stanford getting some great shots off this morning, but that post is answering back.
Unforgiving. Gonzalez, he had the long-range strike before. Thorsness now trying to spin inside. Shot clock to 3. Long range for Gonzalez, not this time as Hagestad is there.
Riptide has been careful with their selections of shots, but it's long shots like the one we just saw that leads to advantages for Stanford like this. With a team like Stanford and the speed they have, you have to be incredibly careful about how you're feeding their counterattack.
And that counterattack gets fed to Tyler Abramson. He has another today. And a 10-4 lead for the Cardinal.
Moving in here to almost 3 meters, up nice and big with quite a few fakes. It's a hard shot to stop.
And it's hard for those goalies. You see a lot of those fakes and you might wonder, just let it fly. But the goalie can only stay up so long to try and track those fakes.
Right.
That's Mefford with the ball. It's a pass into Thorsness off the post.
Ordinary. Thorsness lets it fly.
He's inside, no shot, and ball back.
He was inside. Could not shoot that one on the restart.
So many times I think those calls or shots get called off, right? I think players get up big, they go for the shot, thinking that they're outside the 6-meter line and not out far enough.
Yeah, that pool awareness, and it's It'd be tough the angle that they're at, trying to get a look at that yellow cone to see where they're at in the water. Defense there from Riptide.
Robinson sends the ball. That's Gordon.
We're looking at a 10-4 game, but Riptide has yet to let Stanford get comfortable.
And that draws an exclusion.
And a power play coming now for Riptide. Siebold excluded.
Mefford sends it over to Thorsness.
Yeah, Riptide by no means quitting in this one despite the deficit. Back to work on the 6-on-5. Shovel inside, the redirect. That is nicely done. As Martino took the deal from Mefford and put it home.
Great connection here made by Riptide and great patience in regards to their passing. Just moving the ball around, taking their time. Post is definitely wide open. That's a tough angle, though, to have the pass come so straight on to the post, but he finds a way to flick it right over his head and put it into the back of the cage.
Yeah, batting that one home. Perfect timing. And it cuts that Stanford lead down 10-5. The exclusion now. Power play coming for the Cardinal. A few fakes and a skip shot cross cage for Parker Killian. Stanford has the quick answer. Riptide gets a goal on one side, and Stanford coming right back here.
Definitely having the water in front of them to move in. It's a great opportunity for Riptide to knock down that player. Just too much time and too much space allowed.
And Parker Killian taking advantage of the opening. On the other end, exclusions. Well, the free-flowing first half we had has now given way to the exclusions and some power plays. Brock Gordon gives a look. McCall turned away by Hagestad in front, and a penalty. So a good fight here. Hagestad had a piece of it, but then Gonzalez coming over to force that ball under to draw the 5-meter. We've seen that yesterday as well. It's a tough situation for goalies there, trying to get that ball out of the way. Offensive player stays in the mix. Off the bar. Went up high, tried to go donut there over the goalie's head.
Riptide turns around with a little smile on his face, thinking, try to make it happen. Didn't quite go. We talked about that shot being a risk, the donut on the 5-meter penalty shot.
Down 11-5, trying to have a little fun with some things. And meanwhile, on the other end, bar out. Long outlet now. Brock Gordon pushing ahead, looking for Martino. Lob try. We're getting the full arsenal here from Riptide. A little softball they put up there, and that was well off the mark.
Stanford scanning the pull for the attack.
Knocked down.
Riptide seeming to find the balance of helping back on their 2-meter play, but great field block here by Riptide, and again, gives a lot of energy going in the other direction. It's no better feeling than field block to offensive possession.
That was a nice pass to catch Kennefic on the hand. He just couldn't put it away.
Kenefic's hand wrapped up now after a hard hit on the post on their 6-on-5 play early on in the game.
Yeah, he came away favoring that right hand. Under 2 to play, third quarter. LaGrange now gives a look. Low skipper is controlled by Svizlovsky. Martino takes a look. Works for Mefford now. Nothing doing in the middle, open for a drive with 1 on the clock. And a penalty is called right as the shot clock expired.
Riptide really threading the needle on some of these passes that look like they could be 50-50 passes that are leading to some success. This is, I believe, the second 5-meter penalty shot that they drew off of these really, really risky but favorable passes.
Hey, they're down by 5. Might as well go for the gold here on some of these passes. They've tried that. And leads to a penalty here. And score it. High corner off the frame of the cage and in for Brock Gordon. And it's a 10-6 game now. So adjustment to the score there. Stanford with 10 and Riptide with 6. Less than a minute to play, third quarter. 4-goal advantage for Stanford. Killian's knocked down. Gets it back, catch and release off the goal and away.
Riptide again adjusting to the soft zone, forcing Stanford to shoot from the outside. The intention of taking away their center play.
And now Kenefic out in front. Riptide, and from behind, Parker Killian picks the pocket. It looked as if Riptide was about to make this a 3-goal game.
It's hard to see a player like Kenefic, who we've seen with success on the breakaways and these one-on-no-one type of opportunities, struggle and bobble with the ball, knowing that his paw may be a little hurt.
Yes. From the outside, and Svizlovsky there. Yeah, not having the control there the way he would without the injured hand. Shot clock is off now on the reset. 11 seconds left here in the third. Last try for Stanford. Svizlovsky, a little block and a woo. Channeling his inner Ric Flair on that save with 4 seconds left now. Another stop and a variety of saves. Svizlovsky lets it fly. Hagestad will knock that down. That's all for the third. Riptide hanging tough, but Stanford in front 10-6. 8 more minutes to play here at the National League. Week 3, day 2. We're just getting started. More to come after these messages.
Cap 7 is the proud sponsor of USA Water Polo. Cap 7 is the best ball in the world.
So, you've got your hard-earned money, but you're not sure where to put it. Well, one of the best things that you can do is put it into a credit union. Credit unions are like banks, only better. They offer higher rates of return, lower fees, and are safe and secure. And because they're not for profit, they're all about putting the people first. With credit unions, you're not just another face in the crowd, you're a member. And credit unions are member-owned and member-operated. Take control of your finances. Visit or contact Sea Air Federal Credit Union to find out all of the great reasons why you should join.
And the fourth quarter's underway. Stanford ahead of Riptide 10-6.
And Stanford wins sprint.
Riptide trying to come back in this one if they can. They've had a couple of close opportunities. Thought we were going to see them cut it to 3 in that third quarter, but good defense from Parker Killian and the Cardinal. And now back on offense.
This is definitely a game that Stanford has yet to be comfortable in. Riptide continuously keeping Stanford on their heels.
Yeah, it hasn't been a game where they can kind of take their foot off the gas. They have to keep working for offensive opportunities. Coming up, by the way, a couple of exciting ones. Olympic Club will take on an LA Athletic Club in our next matchup, followed by New York Athletic Club against Alumni. So all the open division masters teams, if you will, open age range, I should say, will get together in our next 2 games. So a couple of exciting ones on the way right here at Ocean View.
Call takes the pass.
Good stop. Hagestad had to range to the right to bat that one down.
Another great defensive possession by Stanford, forcing the long shot out by Riptide, leading to a counterattack opportunity here for Stanford. Again, we talked about having to make some really smart shots versus a team like Stanford. It's easy to feed their counterattack. Great stop by Riptide here in the cage.
And Sivaslavsky, he's made a couple of nice stops here. Been a lot of scenarios where he's had to face repetitive shots in the same possession.
Definitely.
He's been able to knock those down.
He's played big this game, and you can feel that energy coming from him. There's nothing more I love than watching a goalie play with some energy, some sass from the cage.
That sass has piled up 7 saves. Sivaslavsky using his energy and intensity there. Hagestad bats down another. That's his 5th stop.
That was Brock Gordon with the rebound, putting it away for the goal.
Oh, was that a goal?
Yes.
Oh, excuse me. I thought Hagestad got a piece of that.
He did. Here's the replay here. Off the bar, lands in the right spot and
on the rebound. Okay.
Sweeps it in.
There it is.
That's another thing about Riptide is just any sort of block or bounce off the post. They're looking for that second effort, the third effort, and they've gotten not lucky, but their efforts have allowed them to throw maybe 2 extra goals in.
Well, and I know you commented earlier, you like their movement and just the effort they're putting out there to try and get open and to chase down rebounds.
We talked about Stanford playing the 8 p.m. game last night and showing up for the 8 a.m. game this morning. And, you know, it would be easy to say a team like Stanford this morning would want to just cruise through this game. And Riptide saying, nope, we're not cruising. We're going to make you move. We're going to make you think. And we're going to make you hustle for every loose ball that's out there.
And with that, they find themselves in a game here. Under 6 to play, down 3. Certainly a doable comeback. But not when Tyler Abramson reaches in with the claw and takes that one away. And now off to the races. Stanford ahead of the crowd. Riptide giving chase. Abramson surging through. And a penalty. Working through Thorsness, who's guilty of the penalty.
Looks like he'll take it. Tyler Abramson lines up with a shot.
Abramson draws the penalty. He'll take the penalty. And scores. 11-7 the lead for Stanford.
Many times there's like a designated 5-meter shooter on a team or 3 5-meter shooters on a team. And with these new rules and the ability to draw this many 5-meter penalty shots, I would say it probably gives opportunity to some players to really rack up some points, right?
Yeah, especially if you become the designated shooter.
Right.
In that instance, I know that went against how you'd normally do it, where the person who draws it wouldn't
hands it
necessarily
off.
shoot it, but
right.
let someone else who's fresher shoot it. But in this instance, Abramson was right there. He decided to go and shoot it. Yeah, the person that would become your DH, so to speak, your designated hitter for penalty shots, can really pile up goals.
Graham puts the ball in the set, and an ordinary foul.
Ordinary called as Thornus works inside. Off the ball, an exclusion. Power play coming for Riptide as McTavish is excluded.
Gordon on top.
Working from the outside. Nothing there. Around the way. And that hand, Kennefic just doesn't have the control. You can see the heavily bandaged right hand and never had a real grasp on that ball.
I mean, I'm sure his hand is in pain, but the bandage enough, even with a full strength hand, is enough to be distracting for any athlete.
So couldn't hang on there. And Stanford now controls it as we near the 4-minute mark. That pass went nowhere. Looked as if McTavish just lost control.
We talked about the live center entry passes and how much center play Stanford had in that first quarter, and Riptide's done a fantastic job of switching their defense up to cover that center position, really forcing the shots from the outside at Stanford. Something that Stanford's comfortable doing is putting that ball into set, and now they're shifting it up again.
Knocked down, Hagestad.
Hagestad there for the block.
Offensive. As Stanford's getting into their attack, they'll turn it over. This is going to look good for Riptide. Thorsness moving in and buries it.
In for the goal. Number 7, Kyle. They're back to a 3-point game. Just over 3 minutes.
Those offensive calls and turnovers can really lead to some great opportunities. Kennefic just picked the ball up and passed it off, leaving time and a great opportunity for Riptide.
Lots of options there as the 3-on-1 developed.
And you have to think if it was a 3-on-1 going towards Riptide in an offensive turnover, then Stanford probably was up when the call was made.
That's a good point. They were off on their own counter, and the bulk of their team had gotten into the offensive end only to have that go the other way. 11-8 stays a 3-goal game. Riptide has not quit. Stanford's led throughout, but Riptide refusing to go away. Shot clock to 5. From the outside, and Sivaslavsky, as the shot clock was winding down, he knocks that one down. Killian moving in. A lot of fakes. This one on the water. Oric to step out, and it's tipped up, and enough for Sivaslavsky to get underneath it to control it. But then a turnover. Trying to work for Vision, but Kariotakis comes over for the steal. Those are the plays Riptide can't have as they try and close a 3-goal deficit here late in this one. On the other end now, Stanford attacking, field block.
Great field block there. I mean, in a sticky situation for Riptide, and able to depend on their legs and big arms up.
And now pushing ahead to Martino. Martino pushing ahead. And now filling a lane, here's Mefford. Quick turn, and Hagestad was ready for it. Almost caught him off guard with the left. He swiped that one out of the air. That would have made things a 2-goal game.
Fluid shot. It was ready to be quick, and he had 3 people back on him. Riptide getting organized on defense here.
Minute 40 to play. Almost thrown out of bounds by Stanford. Shot clock winding down to 2, and Stanford will dump it aside. So 90 seconds on the nose left in this one. 11-8 Stanford in front. Sivaslavsky, a little 5-on-5 here as Stanford keeping one back.
Both teams definitely feeling a little tired here at the end.
Yeah, you can see some folks dragging out there.
Leading to interesting balances, right? So right now we're playing 5-on-5. A few were trailing off in the last possession. And again, it's just when anything's off like that, it's hard to develop and play the offense that you're really used to playing.
And Riptide turns that one over as the pass did not find its recipient, and now Stanford can put this one on ice. Keeper out. Sivaslovsky's there, but first an exclusion. That will go on Martino. Power play coming for Stanford. Cardinal with plenty of time.
And taking that time again, we're seeing interesting balances out here as players are trailing off and
You've got almost
not committing.
5-on-4 here on one end. And now we'll get some more folks involved here, so it's 5-on-5. A couple of players hanging on the defensive end. Now a search for the cap with 32 seconds left here in the fourth, and Stanford on their way to victory, not without a whole lot of effort required, as Riptide should be very happy with their effort here. Lots of strong defensive moves, some good movement on offense.
Stanford signaling for his teammate to come into play. Come on.
Join us down here on offense. Power play is over. And Sivaslovsky, another save. He's piling them up now. Shot clock is off, and now the outlet.
On the counter, that's Vision.
And Vision out on the swim. He is out ahead. Vision cruising in and scoring on the counterattack score. With defenders giving chase, and James Vision able to beat them all.
Again, 12 seconds only left in the game, and Riptide just is not slowing down. Taking the opportunity to get up on a counterattack and finishing here strong.
As you often say, keep it low.
Finish low.
Able to score it, but Stanford hangs on for the win. Valiant effort here from Riptide, but the Cardinal take it 11-9. We'll see them later on this afternoon. But the final here, a 2-goal victory for the Cardinal. Coming up next, Olympic Club takes on LA Athletic Club. Stanford is back in action later at Golden West College. We'll step aside and return with more National League action coming up shortly. O Club, LA Athletic Club, live on USA Water Polo TV.